How are you?
How are you? أهلا وسهلا. Nice to meet you.
Okay, we've got a group of people here who are wanting to hear from you about what's actually happening in Bilin, and are very interested in the book on resistance in Bilin, and are eager to hear you. So uh, they would also, I think, what we'd probably do is let you speak first. Maybe you'll explain to them what's happening in Bilin, what's your role in it, and
You hear me?
yes, we do.
Okay, I am today. I am sorry that I cannot be with you because of the visa application and what's happened last week. They refused to give me the visa to come and to see you all. But also we can meet and we can see each other by Skype or inshallah next time. I am talking today about the nonviolent resistance in Bilin, but I want to give you a brief information about the village, and maybe I can send some photos to see by Skype also, that we can you can understand more about the situation here in in the village. So first I am sending a photo of Palestine from 1948. That's where the Palestinian problem began. And this shows Palestine before 1948, 1947, 1967, and now. And how is the Zionist goal from the beginning to clean the land from the people to build the Jewish state? In 1948, when they destroyed 530 villages and towns, Palestinian towns, and because of this we have 8 million Palestinians become refugees outside of Palestine. And the situation now is the same as worse, bad situation in Palestine. That's what we have now is 12% from the Palestinian historic land. That's also there is no connect between the Palestinian areas because of the wall and the settlements and the barriers there in Palestine, that we have about now 400 checkpoints between the villages and the Palestinian cities. You can see the photo.
No, no.
Just where's the conversation in Skype, and you can find the photos and how it's become like there is no contact between the Palestinian cities and villages because of these all settlements inside West Bank area. More than 2,250 settlements inside where 12% from the Palestinian historic land, and also 700,000 settlers who's moved and live in West Bank area or in 1967 border. So the problem starts from there. We are under the occupation as all our life as me and my family, and we start to fight when we are children. I joined the first Intifada, and I been arrested for 2 years also in the first Intifada. We lead the non-violent resistance when they start to build the apartheid wall in village. And Bilin, to talk about Bilin, is like 2,000 people live in Bilin. The land of the village is about 4,000 dunums. They confiscated 2,300 dunums from the land of the village to build the apartheid wall and the new settlement called Mutyahu Mizrah, and it's the biggest one is called Mudayin Hadid. That's Bilin being surrounded by the settlements now after confiscated the farmland of the people. 2,000 people live in Bilin. Most of them is the farmers that they used to have the olive trees in their life, in their land, in their economy. And when they start to build the settlement and the apartheid wall, they destroyed more than 1,000 olive tree from the farmland. And it's mean, a lot of mean for the farmers. It's the economy of the village. Many farmers was selling the olive oil, and this time they have to buy it. So it's affected the farmers, affected the people in the village. From that time, December 2004, we started our demonstrations when they start to work on the land to destroy the olive trees. All the people in the beginning was going without organizers, and it's 12 December 2004 until February 2005. We organized ourselves and we built our committee and we started the weekly demonstrations. From that time until now, we have every week, every Friday, we have a demonstration against the wall and the settlements, against the occupation, to refuse what they're doing against our people. Every time, every demonstration, we have a new idea to use to send a message outside to many people in the world, as we use the non-violent struggle, the non-violent way in our struggle. We put ourselves in gates and barrels and cylinders. We tie ourselves to the olive trees and we fight by our bodies to start to stop these bulldozers and these army to destroy our life. We had internationally from all of the world until now. Also, they coming and participate with us in our demonstrations. We have Israeli activists every week also that's join us in our demonstrations as the after Friday prayer. In the other side, we find a lot of violence from the Israeli army that they use against us in these demonstrations, and it was, I think you saw many of these in the news, many of the weapons that's illegal to use it by the international law, that they use it against us in this village, in this small village, and also around other villages who's doing the weekly demonstration like Bilin after our success. So we have a lot of violence that they use against us from the beginning, because they know that this way of non-violent, it shows the face of the violent. They didn't like it to be grow, they didn't like it to be shared to other people in the world. They want to stop it, to block it, and they use lots of violence against the people. And they use this strategy from the beginning by beating the people, shooting the people, arrested lots of our friends, especially the children also, that they didn't want the next generation to be involved in this struggle. So many kinds of weapons that they use, starting from tear gas canisters to rubber coat, steel bullets, live bullets, sponge bullets, skunk water, all these kinds of illegal weapons that they use it against us in this demonstration. We lost two of our friends. 17th of April 2009, we lost our friend Basim Abu Rahma, who was being killed by shooting him direct to his chest by tear gas canister. He's died in the place. 1st of January 2011, we lost his sister Jawahir Abu Rahma. Same way, they're using illegal tear gas against the people here in the village. 1,300 people been injured, and we have many of them also have problems in their body because of their weapons that they use it. And one of these victims is my son, Majid, who was being shot by live bullet in his leg. the bullet damaged the main nerve in his leg, so he's lost his foot. He's lost feeling and moving his foot until now. The bullet cut the main nerve in his leg. And it was in 2014, in the time in the massacre in Gaza, when they killed 2,300 people in Gaza in less than a month. 800 children being killed, so everybody, it was a mass demonstrations everywhere in the world, and we was part of these actions. We was part of this demonstration in Bilin, and it was on Thursday, not Friday, that we went to support and to stand with Gaza people. When the demonstration ended, we went back to the village, to the house from the land. My son was with me in that minute, and we saw a jeep of soldiers came from the uphill, and he's standing 30 meters from us, and he shot him direct to his chest. He fell down in front of me, and also to give a treatment for him. It was very difficult here in Palestine for the children to give a treatment when they're injured. It's very hard. He spent 8 days in Ramallah hospital that we didn't have a nerve doctor. We have to take him to Jerusalem to do the surgery. We tried to get a permission for him. They refused to give us a permission. They refused to give the ambulance also a permission to go to Jerusalem, as Jerusalem is 25 kilometers from our home. For me, I never been there. I'm 43 years old, and I never been there because of security reasons. And also this comes to my children that they cannot go to Jerusalem, my family. They refuse to give any one of us a permission to go and take him to the hospital. And also they refuse to give him the permission to get the treatment in Al Maqasid Hospital in Jerusalem. So we take him to Jordan. In Jordan, he spent another 1 week. In our way to Jordan, the delegation stopped him in the border for 2 hours when he was in the ambulance, trying to ask him questions. In Jordan, they told us you have to take him to Al Maqasid Hospital or outside to Europe to make the surgery for him, or United States. We went back to West Bank, to Ramallah, and we try again to make a permission for him by human rights organization. They refuse to give him a permission, and for the ambulance also. So he have to do the surgery. So we called in that night, we called 2 of our friends from Israeli activists who came and participate with us in the demonstration, and they succeed to take him to the hospital. They came in the middle of the night and they take him to the hospital to do the surgery and the treatment. He succeeded to be there with his friends. So he spent 10 days in the hospital without anyone of his family with him. And this is what happened for the children. Last week we take him to his doctor, and he said he's met him in near Ramallah, and he said that it's a zero succeed after 2 years of his injury. So this is the treatment that we give to our children here in Palestine when they've been injured or been shot or been sick also, that it's very hard to give this treatment for them. And I feel that this was a message to the family, to me, to the organizers, to the people in the village. That's a very bad message that's sent to me by the commander. And it was lots of messages before and after when they came to me and 6 soldiers and beating me very hard few months ago, and they broke in 2 ribs in my chest. It was also a message that they sent to me to try to stop us and to break us, to stop these non-violent demonstrations. They know exactly that it's a grow outside. Many people start to know about it, and it was our succeed that we succeed to send this message to many people in the world by our speaking tours, by our friends who's coming from outside, that they become our messengers. When they saw the truth on the ground, they become our messengers, and they went outside to talk about it to their friends and their community. They feel that and they saw the movement is grow outside. Pro-Palestine people is grow. Many people start to understand, especially in the BDS movement. Also, many people talking about the BDS movement now, and it's affected in the United States, in Europe, in England, everywhere. That's people start to talk about the BDS movement. Also, when we had our photos, our videos that comes from the ground, like Fire Broken Cameras movie, especially when he's nominated the Oscar in 2013, it's get a lot of attention, and many people start to know about the life of the Palestinian under in the ground. So we have also that's part of the violence that they use it against us as a personally or a message that is being sent to us. Also, lots of violence that they're using in the demonstration against our people, against our land, against our houses, against our children, especially at night time when the soldiers came at night. Also, it's very hard to explain about the night raids, that when you have a group of soldiers cover their faces with guns, dogs inside of the house, waking the children when they are sleeping, broken the doors, and it's happened in my home many times when they coming at night time. I have 5 children. Also, they have lots of stories to talk about the night raids, and it's make lots of problems for the children, especially the children. And they mean to do that against our children, against our people at night time. And sometimes it was every night, some years, that they was coming just to search or throwing sand bombs in the under the window, in the streets, tear gas the houses in the middle of the night. They arrested 150 children. Children is 13, 14, 15 years old, and they put them in jail between 4 months to 18 months. They have to pay each one to the court also between 2 to 15,000 shekel. It's mean that they want to break the people. They didn't want the next generation to be involved in this struggle. But we stayed fast and we continue our resistance week after week. We succeed to have many people join us in this demonstration, and we never have any demonstration without international and Israeli activists. Until now, we have international new people who's coming from outside. We succeed to push the international media to come and to see what's happened in Bilin, what happened in the ground. We succeed to push a lot of famous people to come to visit us in Bilin, like people who have Nobel Peace Prize, like Desmond Tutu, Jimmy Carter, Luisa Margantino, Mariad Miguel, all these people who have the Nobel Peace Prize that's visited us in Bilin, and we show them the wall and the settlements around and how this affected the Palestinian people here in these villages. So it's in other way we succeed in many ways as a people who's fighting for freedom and justice, for people who's looking to live like everybody in the world. In our demonstrations, we succeed to demolish the wall and move it back 500 meters. And it was the first time and the first decision that's taken here about the wall to demolish part of the wall and to move it back 500 meters. It means that we have 1,200 denoms back to the farmers. They can use it for farmland. When we go back to the land, we find it being destroyed also by the companies who was working there. They was installing the olive oil, the trees, the olive trees, and they uproot it, they sell it inside of Israel for the gardens, inside of the settlements. We find the land being destroyed after we went there, after our succeed, but also we started our project to prepare the land and to fix it, to plant new olive trees, to plant new grapes, new trees in this land to make it as a green as what it was. We succeed to stop 2,000 apartments in the settlement with Tiahu Mizrah. That's the plan of the settlement was where is the last house in the village. And as I said, we succeed to send the message to many people in the world about the life of the Palestinians and how they live under the occupation. So in general, this is about our village, our non-violent resistance here in Bilin. We have lots of stories that we talk about it here in this village, and you can see it in also in my book Bilin and the non-violent resistance that talks about the struggle in Bilin and other villages around. So there's a lot of stories. I have also lots of photos to show presentation and videos, but we cannot come. I cannot come to London this time, but I hope we can meet again next time, and we will show all these presentation to you and inform you about the life of the Palestinians under the ground. So we can stop here, and if you have any question, please welcome.